Very good morning and welcome to Athavan News. Today Wednesday 9th of March 2016. Newspaper highlights read by Edward Udayadas, Devasagayam Pillai. Today we have three leading newspapers of Sri Lanka for the highlights: Daily Mirror, Daily News and Ceylon Today. The headlines of the Daily Mirror as follow: VAT to be increases up to 15%. Measures to face challenges of a global economic crisis. PM says debt trap created by Rajapaksa regime exceeds 9.5 trillion rupees. Blaming the Rajapaksa regime of putting the country into a debt trap of 9 trillion rupees, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, making a special statement in Parliament, said yesterday the government would increase the value-added tax to 15%. Reintroduce capital gains tax and introduce several other tax reforms to face the challenges ahead. He said a flat statutory income tax rate of 17.5% would be introduced. Tax concessions granted to telecommunication services, private education and health services would be removed. He said VAT would not be imposed on essential commodities and electricity while imposing it only on selected non-essential commodities. Nelam Pokkuna looking like toilet commode. Chandrika Bandaranaike Kumaratunga. Former President Chandrika Kumaratunga said yesterday the Nelam Pokkuna Performance Theatre in Colombo was a eyesore that looked like a toilet commode and blamed the former Rajapaksa government of changing the initial concept she had of creating a people-friendly cultural centre. Nelam Pokkuna is ugly and looks like a toilet commode. Sorry for saying it. Every day when I come out of the house I see it. It is a real eyesore. The initial idea was very beautiful. We created a public cultural center there. Now there is no people or anyone there. Even the toilets cannot be used properly, she said, addressing the International Women's Day ceremony of the Sri Lanka Freedom Party as the chief guest. She said yesterday the country was now facing an economic crisis because of the robbing and corruption committed by the Mahinda Rajapaksa's regime. Zaid to make announcement on Sri Lanka. Minister. UN Human Rights High Commissioner Zaid Al Hussein is scheduled to make an announcement on Sri Lanka at the 31st session of the UN Human Rights Council in Geneva on Thursday. One-time government envoy to the UN, Minister Mahinda Samarasinghe, said on Thursday. At a media briefing at the Government Information Department, he said the High Commissioner had not yet made any statement or announcement on Sri Lanka during the 31st session, which began on February 29. He had not made a special statement on the country so far, and it is a good development. He will make an announcement on Sri Lanka on Thursday, and it will most likely be based on his visit to Sri Lanka last month. Secondly, let's move to Daily News. Supreme Court dismisses magistrates' FR. The Supreme Court yesterday refused leave to proceed with a fundamental rights petition filed by Colombo Additional Magistrate Thilina Gamage seeking an order against his imminent arrest over the alleged possession of an elephant illegally. In his petition, Additional Magistrate Thilina Gamage cited Inspector General of Police N.K. Ilankakon, CID Director, the Attorney General and several others as respondents. Through his petition, Gamage sought an order preventing the CID from arresting and naming him as a suspect over magisterial inquiries under Public Property Act. Deceased donor kidney transplant for first time in Sri Lanka. A deceased donor kidney transplant system was officially launched in Sri Lanka for the first time by Health Services Director General Dr. Palitha Mahipala in Colombo yesterday. Kidney donation can be done legally in a methodical manner which assists a large number of patients who are in need of kidneys. Dr. Mahipala launched the system during a media seminar at the Health Education Bureau, Colombo yesterday. Finally, let's move to Ceylon Today. Sri Lankan Airlines Insurance. Government mulls private sector management. Minister of Public Enterprise Development Kabir Hasim informed Parliament yesterday that the government is considering entering into a public and private management partnership in order to revive failing institutions such as Sri Lankan Airlines and Sri Lanka Insurance Corporation, which had incurred heavy losses during the former regime. Asad Salih resigns, but letter goes to wrong source. UNP Central Provincial Council member Asad Salih quitted his portfolio yesterday. Salih told this newspaper that he had handed over his resignation letter dated 30 January to the CPC General Secretary and the UNP General Secretary. He said that he had informed the UNP leader Ranil Wickremesinghe, party chairman Malik Samaravikrama and party secretary Kabir Hasim by late January about his intention to resign from the CPC, but as the trio had failed to notify the CPC, he had decided to hand over his resignation letter yesterday. Jositha others bail hearing on 14 March. Colombo High Court Judge A.A.R. Heliyanduduva yesterday fixed hearing of the bail revision applications filed on behalf of Jositha Rajapaksa and 4 other suspects in remand custody for 14 March. The CHC judge put off the order on the bail revision applications filed by the suspects after a 3-hour-long discussions between counsels for the suspects and the Attorney General. With that, let's come to an end of today's paper highlights. We will come with more news tomorrow morning. Thanks for listening to Athavan News Paper Highlights.